as you allow yourself to relax and your breath to become deeper and deeper, see if you can imagine that you're breathing out through the pores of your skin so that the whole of your body is surrounded by a soft, misty golden light. Feel almost as if you're enwrapped in that cloud of light which lifts you up, floating. A lovely, warm, safe feeling. And now, as I count from 1 to 10, I want you to imagine that you're floating up out of the building that you're in, and feeling lighter and lighter as you float up towards the sunshine. 1, 2, 3, lighter and lighter. 4, 5, lighter and lighter as you feel the wind lifting you now. 6, 7, 8. You might like to look down on the building that you're floating above now and see the people and cars getting smaller and smaller as you go higher and higher. 9, 10, floating way, way up above now. One cloud of light amongst many others. You feel a wonderful sense of freedom as the wind carries you along. Out over the sea now, leaving the land in the distance, which fades away. And now below you is just the ocean, great blue expanse of ocean, and the sunshine above. And now and again you can see a tiny speck which is a boat in the ocean. You're really enjoying the freedom, floating way up above. And as you look down, you can see a school of whales swimming. And you float down until you're quite close to the water, and you can see their huge size, shadows below, and sometimes leaping and playing and splashing their tails down on the water. And you can hear their haunting song as they sing ancient songs to each other. As they move in the ocean, in search of food, caring for each other, helping each other. And now feel yourself floating up again, and you leave the whales behind, and now there is simply the ocean below you and the sky above. And you see in the distance a little green jewel in the water. And as you approach it, you see it's an island with an old volcano in the centre. Lots of lush vegetation and beautiful white beaches. And there's a lagoon around, which is protected from the deeper ocean. And you find yourself coming down on the beach. You can feel the warm sand under your fingers on this beautiful deserted island which is just yours. You look behind and you can see tall palm trees, and behind that, trees laden with wonderful fruit. Some you recognize and some you don't. You walk a little way along the beach and you can see a stream coming through the trees of beautiful clear water. You splash it on your face and drink some, and it tastes so delicious and fresh. And the freshness and purity of the water seems to flow through your whole body. And as you look out into the lagoon, which is absolutely still and clear and blue, you can see the dolphins playing. And you stand close to the edge of the water. And you feel very tempted to go in and swim with them. They come closer as if they're calling to you, and you paddle out a little way just up to your knees. And a baby dolphin comes close and you see its lovely smiling face and eyes that seem to reach deep inside you. And you reach down and you touch its skin, which feels warm. The dolphin seems to be asking you to come and swim. And you feel no sense of fear, just happiness and joy. As you go deeper into the water, you feel the coolness, the freshness of the water going over your thighs and up to your waist. And then you sink into the water, and the dolphin is by your side. And you put your hand around its fin, and it pulls you out to join the rest of the family of dolphins. And the mother of the baby dolphin comes close to you and swims underneath you, and you find yourself on her back, and she leaps up in the air and down and up, and it's most exciting, exhilarating feeling. And as she goes under the water, you're surprised to find that you can actually hold your breath, just as a dolphin can, for surprising amounts of time. And you play together with the dolphins. A memory comes into your head of an old shipwreck that you have a feeling is on the outside of the lagoon, the deeper part of the ocean. And just as you think it, the dolphin connects up with your thoughts and takes you out into the deeper water, through the white foaming waves and out into the darker water. And you feel strangely excited. The dolphin leaps and takes you down deeper, and the colour of the water changes as you move further away from the sun, deeper down into the water. And you begin to see the bottom now, where there's a great field of seaweed which seems to be moving in rhythm to the ocean, swaying backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And you swim over this field and see tiny brightly coloured fish swimming in and out. And you can see in the distance what appears to be a large area of coral which stretches up almost like an enchanted castle. And lying close to it you can see the wreck of a very old ship. And the dolphin takes you close to the ship. It's lying on its side with holes in, and you swim round it together. And the dolphin tells you it's time for you to go alone into the ship, to find the treasure that's been waiting for you all of those years. And as you swim off the dolphin's back, you're aware that you've been carrying a very heavy parcel on your shoulders. You hadn't even realised it was there, but you begin to become aware of the weight of it. And you swim onto the shipwreck. You swim across the deck, which is all broken and bashed about from the storms through all those years. You explore and look until you find the captain's cabin. The door is hanging off its hinges, swinging gently with the ocean current. And you peep around the door and see the skeleton of the captain sitting in the chair, holding in its white bony hand a great key. And you look over and see the treasure chest, the rusty padlock, and you swim inside the room and wonder you swim over to the treasure chest and then look back at the skeleton. And you remember a poem that you may have heard a long, long time ago, as you're wondering whether to take the key or not. 4 fathom 5, thy father lies, of his bones a coral made. These are pearls that were his eyes. Nothing of him that doth change, but does suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. And you know deep inside you that it's right to take the key. But first you must remove that parcel that you've been carrying on your back, tied around you with rusty buckles, and you struggle to undo them. And they're so rusted up you wonder if you can ever be strong enough to manage it. And then suddenly they just fall open and the parcel falls to the floor. And you feel free and light and float right up to the ceiling of the cabin, smiling to yourself with relief. And you swim over to the skeleton, and the bony arm and hand seems to have floated up to offer the key to you. And you take the great key in your hand and swim over to the treasure chest. And the rust of the padlock seems to have disappeared. And you put the key in the padlock and turn it and lift the lid of the treasure chest. The chest contains so many jewels, silver and gold cups, blocks of gold, plates. You put your hands in it and lift them up, and they're so beautiful, shining and sparkling. And you wonder whatever you could have done with all of that, and know that you may take one thing from the chest, choose now the treasure that you would take back to the surface. And as you take the treasure, close the chest lid and lock the padlock and place the key back in the hand of the skeleton. The skeleton seems to be nodding and smiling at you. You feel a friendliness coming from it as you swim out of the door. And there's the dolphin waiting for you, smiling the dolphin smile. And you swim up to it and put your arms around it. And it turns and turns with delight at seeing you again. And you show the dolphin your treasure. And the dolphin smiles as you get back on her back and she swims up through the dark water, faster and faster up through the lighter water, and then leaps out of the water into the sunshine again, swimming back into the calm lagoon where the rest of the dolphins are waiting for you, and the baby dolphin seems to chuckle and laugh. And you share your treasure with the dolphins, and they smile at your delight. You seem to be able to swim better now than before. Swim as the dolphins do, with scarcely a ripple, with the sheer delight of being alive and the joy of being with one another. The baby dolphin takes you back into the shore, and you stand up and walk out of the water and smile and wave your thanks to the dolphins, and they know, for they can read your thoughts. You realize your deep sense of privilege and honor to have swum with them. And you watch now as they play and swim towards the edge of the lagoon and out into the deeper water. And you stand on the warm sandy beach and allow the sun to dry your body. And you feel clean and fresh and new. That beautiful treasure will remain with you as you lay back down on the beach, resting in the sunshine, and feel the warm golden clouds surrounding you once again, wrapping you up and lifting you up once again to be carried across the ocean by the wind, feeling full of light and joy. As I count from 10 to 1, you'll find yourself coming back here into your body, into the room. And you may or you may not wish to open your eyes. If you wish to go straight to sleep, then you may be surprised to find that that's just what you do. And you will know that whenever you practice your pictures and images, simply by taking 3 deep breaths and counting down from 1 to 10, you will be able to go exploring your own mind, finding out where the treasures are hid. be surprised to find how strong you are, how joyful you are, how happy you are, and how well you get on with other people. And all of these feelings will get stronger as I count from 10 to 1 now. As you come back over the blue water, leaving that magical island for the time being. 10, 9, 8, 7, feeling yourself back into your body now. 6, 5, in order to awake or go straight to sleep. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Images fading. And when and if you're ready, you may open your eyes.